All right. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 6 days workshop. Now we have a lot of time. 6 days is quite a lot of time, but we also have to cover a lot of topics, right? But I don't want to do it in a hurry. That let's quickly start with the first example and keep on doing more and more problems, because it's important to understand what we will be covering, what are the areas we will not cover but are equally important, and how will you study those things, right? Now, what we are doing is 3 topics broadly, and I am not sure if I've removed the folder. Okay. So we are doing 3 topics broadly. We are doing 4 hours of advanced Excel, 7 of Power BI, and 1 hour of Tableau. The way we have planned it is that Excel obviously is very important because it has a lot of things in it, advanced Excel, and you have to know advanced Excel before stepping into Power BI. One more reason is that Excel and Power BI have a lot of similarity. So Power Query and Power Pivot work exactly the same way on Excel and Power BI. So don't think of Excel and Power BI as 2 separate tools, that Excel is a data input and Power BI is a visualization software. They're very, very closely integrated with each other. And in the time to come, that integration will increase even further, right? So never consider Power BI and Excel to be separate. Think of them as one topic, right? Now, the way the files have been created is that I have given you some Excel case studies. We have a folder on Excel charts, we have Power BI, and we have Tableau. Now, the content that I have here is a lot more than what we will cover. So I'm doing a 52 hours, basically 26 hours training with IIM Code next month for the business leadership batch. So they have this PGP BL program. This is the 3rd batch, and I have been teaching them for all the 3 batches since the pilot batch. And these are people with, on an average, about 4 to 5 years of experience. So with a little bit of experience working on these tools in the industry, right? Now, this content that I'm going to show to you and we are going to work on is actually from their training, right? But you have to understand that we are doing training which is for only 12 hours. They are doing 26 hours, which is more than double. That is one point. The other thing is that they already have 4 to 5 years of experience on average. I'm assuming that for you guys, a lot of you would be freshers, right? So that difference is also there, that they already know the absolute basics of these tools, right? Many of them have worked on Power BI, Tableau as well. So we will not be covering every single topic. Let me be very clear about it. It is not possible. If I have to do Excel with you from end to end, that will take me at least 30 hours, right? Just focusing on Excel. But the way the case studies I have created is that we will cover all the important topics, obviously. But if you expect that every single function, every single formula will be covered, it is not possible, right? There are more than 600 functions in Excel. Of course, it's not possible to cover all of it, right? But I'm very happy with the way the content has been created. And if I may say so, what I have covered for your previous batches, I think this is my 4th training with MDI. This is like 3 times better than that content, right? Because I've put in a lot of effort into this content. Now, the first thing I would like to share with you is this. So there is something called Lucid Chart. If you haven't heard of it before, let me tell you what it is. So Lucid Chart is a diagramming tool. It allows you to create diagrams. And Lucid Chart is really, really popular. In fact, it is so popular, if I can show you. If you haven't been using it, you should, right? For your college projects also. Lucid Chart is so popular that it is used by, how do I go to the home page? Just give me a moment. Can I sign out and show you? Hold on. Wait. Okay. So if you notice, Lucid Chart is used by, because they keep on changing the home page, but yeah, they had a number here, which I can't seem to find again. Anyway, it's used by 99% of Fortune 500 companies, right? So basically, every Fortune 500 companies using Lucidchart because it's the #1 diagramming tool in the world, right? Now, what I've done here is when I do trainings for colleges and for corporate clients, there are many topics I can't cover in detail because of limited time, right? And I have so much to share because I've been working with these tools for so long. I have started a few weeks back to list down everything I know in this one document. So if you notice, this is how my document looks. Now, at one glance, you will feel, Havish, there isn't much. I mean, there must be like 10, 15 things in it. But when you zoom in, you realize that it's not 1 or 2 or 10 things. There are hundreds of things in it, okay? For example, if I just show you galleries, right? You will notice that I have handpicked the best data visualization galleries in the world, right? For example, I have a Power BI gallery, I have a Tableau gallery, I have Information is Beautiful, we have Reuters, Financial Times, then I have the South China Morning Post, then we have the Pudding, Flowing Data, Nightingale, Economist. You get the idea, right? Mecca Graphics, ThinkCell, and all of these are links. For example, if I click on any one of them, let's say South China Morning Post. I don't know if any of you have heard of it before, but this is fantastic. If I can just click on it once, I'm not sure why it's not opening. Give me a moment. Okay, it says view only. That's odd. Let me quickly go back. Wait, and open it one more time.
So this looks a lot like Figma, this website.
Yeah, it's quite like Figma. Even the Figma is mostly for user experiences. So Figma is like Adobe InDesign. This is more of a diagramming tool. This is like Visio, right? So if you have ever seen Microsoft Visio, it is basically a competitor to Visio, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
Right. Okay. Let me just give a moment and let me just sign in once again. I think I signed out, so that was a problem. Give me a moment. Okay, I want to come to my documents and let's come to data visualization. Perfect. Okay, so I was showing you these galleries, right? So if I open any one of them, let's say I open South China Morning Post, look at the quality of visualizations that are there. It's amazing, right? I'll just open a few of them. So I'm opening this one, right? So let's say 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 6 and then 7, right? Now, the reason I really like websites like these is because these are infographics. It teaches you how to present a story. It teaches you how to create PowerPoint slides. It teaches you how to analyze the context. It teaches you how to create visualizations, right? So if you read these, look at this map. Like in our workshop, we'll be learning how to create maps. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, it's almost like a design, but it's very data based, right? So everything that you see here is not just articles. They're actually based on data, right? And there's a lot to learn, right? Of course, you need to have paid account for everything, but even otherwise, you can just go and sort of go through these and, look at the way they have presented this. It's like a slide with a little bit of text at the top, the way the colors are being used, the way the legends are being used, right? Like this. Similarly, I also have something called ThinkCell. ThinkCell is used by almost all the consulting firms in the world. This is the guy who created it is an ex management consultant, and what they have done is they have created these add-ins for Excel and PowerPoint, and you can create the type of charts which you can't create in Microsoft Office otherwise. For example, creating a Mecca chart, waterfall chart, data, chart to data, things like this. You can't create it in other places, and you can see the number tells you everything. 80% of top 10 consulting firms, 80% of Fortune 500 are using it, right? So this is like the best in the world, right? Which is ThinkCell. And there's a lot to learn just by looking at it. Then there's one more called Mecca Graphics, which I've been using for a while. So Mecca Graphics is also really good. It has these beautiful visualizations. If I can open it and show it to you. And let me come to resources. And Okay, how do I show it to you? Wait. Okay, look at this. Do you see this? They have given you not just one or two, they have given you dozens of charts as per different categories. So if I say charts by type, right, you will notice that they have given you, I mean, it's a very long list, right? And there's so much to learn just by looking at all of this, right? And a lot of it we'll be covering in the training, right? So like this, I'll just tell you broadly what all is there on the link. I would request you all to go back, spend 2 to 3 hours just going through this one link because I've shared so much content here. For example, if you're looking at principles of consulting, right? A lot of people are interested in management consulting as well. So I've given you the best tools there. We have the International Business Communication Standard. We have the FAST standard. We have this is one of the defining articles. So this is a very old PDF by Bain, where they talk about the best management tools everybody should use, right? It's a 2011 article, a 2011 PDF, but everybody still uses it. Then there's a Harvard article. Then I've given you 2 channels on YouTube, 2 of the best channels for consulting, right? So we have Victor Cheng and we have Firm Learning. Okay, next you notice I have given you a lot of links for using colors. Then I've given you links for using icons, right? Let me just open one of these. So if you look at Undraw, this is a website I use personally all the time. So you notice they have hundreds of icons, and the best part is you can change the color, right? So these are editable, right? And they have hundreds, not 1 or 2 or 10. They have hundreds of icons available. Okay, next I have given you some general tools. So these are free alternatives to the paid tools in the market, for video editing, audio editing, image manipulation, vector manipulation, recording macros, streaming video, right? So for PDF editing, the best, and these are all free, okay, 100%. So small PDF is for all sorts of PDF requirements, signing, breaking, joining, editing, all of that can be done here. Irfan View is for images, OpenShot Video is for video editing, Audacity is for audio editing, 7-Zip is the best zip. It's an alternative to WinZip. Then you have Epic Pen. Epic Pen is like this. Right? So if you see this tool, everyone, this is what is Epic Pen. Epic Pen allows you to do things like this on the screen, right? So it allows you to draw lines and arrows and things like that. Even though the tool is paid, there is a free version available as well, right? Okay, next I've given you links for data science. Even though we'll not be covering data science in our workshop, but if you want the best channels for statistics, Python and R, I have listed down everything here, right? So Programming with Mosh, Traversy Media, Corey, StatQuest is the best website for statistics. Real Python is one of the best channels for Python, right? Then even on Excel, I've started creating it. So in Excel, if you notice, I've written down all the content which is there in Excel, some of the best channels for Excel and the different components. So Power Query, Power Pivot, VBA, add-ins, Office Script, Python, like this. Same thing I've done for Tableau as well, right? So I've given you a few very good websites for learning advanced Tableau. One of them is my own video, and then I've given you some websites here as well, right? Now, the idea is that I will keep on adding, this is an infinite canvas, right? So I can, if you notice, I can keep on increasing the size. There is no limit to the height and the width. The idea is that I want to keep on adding everything that I learn and I curate and I find in one place. And it's not just done randomly that, okay, whatever I find, I copy and paste it in a Word document. As you can see, it's very systematic. It's organized in a way that it's very easy for you to find what you need. And this is my 18 years of experience working in analytics, which I have tried to put here, right? So I'm just going to share the link with everyone. It's an open link. You will have to create a free account to access it, but otherwise you can access it, right? So copy link and let me share it on the chat window. What I'm also going to do is I will open a notepad so that everything I'm telling you, I will write it here as well, so that after the training every day, I'll share this with you, right? So this is for Lucidchart. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you is my channel. And I can very confidently tell you to go to my channel. I have added a lot of content in the last 1 year, and I just show it to you very quickly. So if you notice, I have different playlists. So there is Excel, Excel charts, Power Query, Power BI. Then I have Tableau, we have Lambda, we have Medium is general articles. So if I just open one of these for you, let's say VBA, since we will not be covering VBA in this training, we only have 4 hours in Excel, right? If you want to learn VBA, you can see this. There is an entire 4-hour video. See, you guys already have access to Teachable. So this is nothing new. This is the same video which is there on Teachable, but all of these other videos are not available on Teachable, right? For example, how to automate Outlook, right? How to automate pivot tables, right? A lot of companies ask this question that how do you automate pivot table with a macro? So I've explained that, right? Like this. Even in Power BI, I have been adding a lot of content. So you will see that one is the entire course on Power BI for finance and general Power BI. This is there on Teachable also, but I have given many more videos here. For example, how to find YOY growth, how to combine multiple files. It's a 1-hour video. Then how to create a dynamic reference line, date tables, number 2 words, transparent background, so on and so forth, right? So these are things you will not find on Teachable. And I keep on adding more and more content here, right? So by the time you guys see it in a week, I would have added like 15 more videos as well. Okay, and finally, I quickly want to give you my introduction so that you understand who I am, what I do, what tools I work on, what type of clients I work with. And then you ask me your questions and we will start with the training, right? So I run a firm called Havish M Consulting. I work as an independent consultant. Havish M Consulting is a proprietorship firm. I started this 3 years back in February 2019. And while I have been working on Excel for a very long time, I mean, I've been working on Excel since school time. So I've been working on Excel since 2003. But I absolutely love working on Excel. In the last 5-6 years, I have been doing coding as well. So I come from a commerce background. I'm a BBA in marketing and an MBA in marketing. And I never studied IT in my life. But about 7 years back, I realized that I have to learn programming because there is a ceiling. I can learn and I can work hard as much as I want, but I can't cross this barrier unless and until I learn programming, right? I'm talking about 2014. And I decided enough is enough, I have to start. So I picked up a book and I started teaching myself Visual Basic. And it was difficult, right? It was difficult for a complete non-engineer, non-programmer, non-IT guy to understand basic things like loops and variables and things like that. But I did not give up, right? So I did that for a year, 2 years. And then gradually, every 1.5 years, I learn a new language. So today I'm a VBA expert. I'm a 40 under 40 in analytics for Excel VBA. I work a little bit on JavaScript and TypeScript. I'm fairly okay at both R and Python. I'm not an expert by any means, but my fundamentals are clear, right? So I can probably not write the code completely, right? But I know how to copy and paste. I know how to explain you the code. I know how it works, right? Which I'm very proud of because I know how my journey with programming started. So all of you who have never done any coding before, it doesn't matter. It's never too late to start, right? In terms of my videos, everything is available on my website, so you can have a look at that. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm Power BI certified. I am Havish M Consulting is a Microsoft partner. And obviously, I'm an Office Specialist Master, which is the highest level for Microsoft Office. Havish M Consulting was listed as the top 30 most innovative startups. I am a 40 under 40, and I also was a recipient of the Indian Achievers Award. Then in terms of the platforms I work on, I'm working a little bit on JavaScript and TypeScript. I'm fairly okay at Python and R, like I said. I work on Power BI and Tableau both. 90% is on Power BI. Most of my clients work on Power BI, a little bit on Tableau as well. Excel, I'm an expert. So everything to do with Excel, I can do, right? So VBA, Power Query, DAX, you name it, I can do it, right? Okay, in terms of clients, I work with a very wide assortment of clients. So right now I'm doing a project with NCRTC, that's the National Capital Region Transport Corporation, that is building the Delhi Meerut Rapid Metro. Then I have very recently worked with Adani Power and Adani Transmission for projects on Excel and Power BI, both consulting and training. Other than that, I have worked with PwC and EY in the past. I have done about 250 trainings for them, but now I don't work with them anymore. But I've done a lot of work with them. I mean, I used to do like 100 trainings every year for PwC and EY in 2017, 2018, 2019. After that, I've stopped. I'm tired of it now. D. Shaw is an active client. I work with D. Shaw as a trainer on Power BI, intermediate and advanced level, both for the Hyderabad office and the New York office. In fact, I had a training with D. Shaw in the morning today, right? So my schedule for this week is morning is D. Shaw, and then night is with you, 4 days. Obviously, my work has been featured in a lot of places, and I work very closely with the Times Group. So Economic Times, Times Professional Learning. So I have conducted a couple of sessions for Economic Times Masterclass. I have partnered with ET for some of their research reports as a survey partner. And yeah, so I mean, all of this, you can go to the website and have a look, right? In terms of college engagements, I have worked with a bunch of different B schools. That is also available on the website. So you can see the different engagements that I've had. Everything is there in a PDF, so you can go and have a look at this. I also did the B school ranking for Business World in 2019. We will list the top B schools in the country. I had, we were the official survey partner with Business World for this. And I love working with colleges. So I do guest lectures and workshops, and I do some credit courses. I judge a lot of competitions as well. So I do about 5 to 6 engagements every month, right, with business schools. Everything is there. So you can, if you're interested, you can go and have a look at this. Okay. And then I also have courses which you already know about. And then in articles and codes, there are, the videos I have on YouTube. So everything has been given here. I also put a lot of my content on GitHub, which is the sort of the portfolio for developers. So a lot of the content that I teach around Power BI and Excel, you will find my repos available here on GitHub. All of this I'll explain you later in the training, how to build your portfolio, but I'm just giving you a high level overview right now to tell you that I'm not just lecturing you, I actually do the same thing, right? So whatever I tell you to do, whether it's to make a dashboard, whether it is to put it on LinkedIn, whether it is to go to GitHub, whatever it is that I tell you to do, I do it myself as well, right? As you can see. I also run a podcast, even though I don't invest a lot of time on it, but then I like to invite guests from different industries and different profiles and generally speak to them about their journey in the corporate. What advice do they have for business school students like you? For example, Rohit is the associate director at DXC, which is a top 200 Fortune 1000. And he's heading learning and development for 70 countries for 1.2 lakh people. Himanshu works as an experience design manager with Adobe. He's been with Adobe for like 6-7 years. So we were speaking about design, right? And you can see, I like to get people from different areas. So Priya is India's most expensive and probably the best known motivational speaker. She's referred to as the Paulo Coelho of India. And she just wrote the official biography for Pullela Gopichand, right? So the idea is to get different people and then get their insights about their life journey. And, hopefully by listening to it, you guys will benefit as well, right? Perfect. So I have given you the Lucidchart link. I have also told you about me, what I do, the sort of clients I have, what I work on. Training is going to be 4 hours Excel, 7 hours Power BI, 1 hour Tableau. So we will try to stick to that. Any questions that you have before we start? Anyone? Also, don't use the chat window. You can just unmute yourself and talk. Yeah, that's all I want.
Am I audible, sir?
All good.
Okay, sir. As someone who does not have any background in mathematics, core mathematics, or engineering, what were the kind of challenges that you faced when you were trying to learn programming? Because at some point we all want to start, but it's like a mountain to climb and a very tough one, I might add.
Yeah. So I don't think anything in life is easy. I think learning Power BI, learning Excel as an advanced user is very, very difficult as well. The good part is that you have access to so many wonderful resources and people have put in so much effort to give you everything in a nice systematic manner. So like when I was learning in 2014, online courses were lesser. We did not have access to a lot of books. The content on YouTube was much lesser. I mean, way, way lesser. So it was more difficult. Now it's easier. I understand starting is the most difficult step, but honestly, I can't help you with that. I have no shortcuts to tell you. I have no tips to give you other than the fact that just start. We'll finish a session at about 12:15 today, right? 12:10, 12:15. Before you go to sleep or you work on a college assignment, whatever it is, just give 15 minutes. Okay. If you haven't started with Python so far and you feel I really want to do it, but I haven't started, just start today. It doesn't matter what you learn, how much you learn. It's the start of a journey, right? And trust me, we always say we are not motivated. Motivation never comes before you start something. Motivation will only come after you start it, right? The moment you watch 15 minutes, believe me, you will feel so happy. Tomorrow, you will feel like spending another 15 minutes. And you will not realize when that 15 becomes 30 and the 30 becomes an hour. Also, don't underestimate the importance of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I meet students all the time, right? Everybody says, sir, I only had 15, 30 minutes. I thought, let me wait for that day when I will have 2 hours. You will never have that day. You're busy, right? We're all busy. You have to take out time. Never underestimate the importance of spending 15 minutes, even 10 minutes on a topic. If in a day, if you have those 3-4 slots where you have 10, 10, 10, 10 here, like, you're having lunch and you can quickly watch your 10-minute video. In a day, you can watch 40 minutes, right? In a week, you can watch 4 hours. See, that is how it starts to add up, right? I mean, look at me. I had an early morning. I had a meeting with Times. I had a training with D. Shaw. I'm doing a session with you. After this, I have to prepare my content for IMK. I have a training with NCRTC next Monday. So we are all busy, right? It's not just me. I'm sure you guys also have a lot of things to do. The only thing I can tell you is please start. Before you close the session today, before you sort of wrap up the day today, 15 minutes on Python. Where to go, what to watch, I'll tell you so that you don't go to the wrong place, right?
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Anything else, anyone that you would like to ask me?
Sir, we'll be starting, as you said, the breakdown is 4 hours of Excel, 7 hours of Power BI. So, of course, we have it all installed as instructed. However, sir, what I was wondering is the learning procedure going to be you explaining and then we try after 2 hours, or will it be
No, absolutely not. Why do you think I've shared all the problems with you in advance? Every single example that I do is, I don't use slides, by the way. In these 6 days, you will not see any slide at all, number one. Number two, every example that I do in front of you, you are doing it with me, right? That was the point of sharing the files with you beforehand. So there's nothing that I'll be doing myself, maybe some advanced topics, but then 90% of it, you guys will be working with me, right? Okay, now first things first, we are working on Excel. So we are working on this folder, which is Excel case studies, and we have the problems and the solutions. Now, why have I given you the solutions here? Because some of these examples are quite difficult, right? And we will obviously not be able to cover all of it. For example, at IMK, I'm going to do 12 hours of Excel. You guys, I'm only doing 4 hours of Excel. So there's a difference, right? I can't cover every topic. That's why I've also given you the solutions. So you can go back and read about it, right? Also, you will not be able to work on your local Excel because I don't know what version you're working on, right? So I would suggest that if you're not able to do it on the local Excel, I'm working on Microsoft 365. Some of you might be on 13, 16, 19, 21. I don't know which version. You might not have all the features, right? That's why you should work on Excel Online, right? Which is just go to office.com. What I had written in the email as well. Just go to office.com, sign in, and you can use it. Now, how do you know if you have the features or not? Let me just start with the first example. Give me a moment. So I'm coming to customer lifetime value, this one, which is customer lifetime value, CLV, right? Let me open the Excel. Okay. Now, how do you know if you have the latest version of Excel or not? Can you just check if you have the unique function on Excel, everyone, very quickly? Just open any Excel file, open this one only, and please check if you have the unique function with you. You either have it or you don't, right? Just tell me, just like put a yes or a no on the chat window so that I know whether you have this function or not. Yes, okay. So I can see a couple of yeses and a couple of nos as well. Okay. Yes in offline, all right. Okay, so I would say it's about a 60 to 70% no, right? Now, why is that differentiation there that some of you have it and some of you don't? These are new functions, right? They are only available on Office 2021, right? And on Microsoft 365. It is not available on 2019. And that's the version I'm assuming most of you have. So what do? If you have this function on your local Excel, you can do it on the local Excel like I'm doing, no problem. If you don't have this, then I would want you to go to office.com, everyone, like I have done. I would like you to go to office.com, and here you can upload the file. All you have to do is just copy the file, drag it into this interface, right? And you will upload the file. Please do this and tell me if it is working, everyone.
Could you repeat what we have to do?
If you're having any trouble, just share your screen with me so that I can help you.
So can you repeat the file name?
Can you? Sure. The file name is CLV Top End Customers. So what we'll do from now on in the rest of the training is that many times I'll be asking you a yes or a no, right? If it's a yes, you don't need to say a yes because, otherwise it will be very complex to see the proportion of responses. If you're facing a problem, just put a no or unmute yourself and tell me that this is not working or something is different and I'll help you, right? Then and there. Right? So I'll also do it once. If I drag it and I come to Excel Online and I just put it here, you will notice that the file will open here as well. Like this, right? Those of you who are not able to get unique on desktop will use this, but those of you who already have the function, you can use either one, online or desktop. That is up to you.
Sir, actually, I was having trouble opening the file. I wasn't able to drag and drop to open it. Can I just share my screen?
Sure.
Just give me 2 minutes, please.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
So can you please share the recordings on day-to-day basis? So if
I will. After the session is over, it will be 100%.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm using a Mac, so can you please just guide me?
No, like I said before, I can't really answer for Mac because Mac, it depends on which version you have and shortcuts will be different. Power Query is not available. Power Pivot is not available.
Right.
So Mac is not really the best user experience, while Microsoft has tried to make it quite better over the years. But to be very honest with you, when it comes to Excel, nothing like Windows.
Is there any particular solution that I could use?
Online, work online.
Okay, yeah, actually, sir, online only. I wasn't able to upload the file. If you could just guide me.
Show me the window, right? Otherwise, how will I tell you?
Yeah, sir, I've just shared my screen.
No, don't open a new Excel. I'll tell you. Just close the file first.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, on this window, just upload the file.
Right.
No, this is OneDrive. We don't need this. We need office.com. Go to office.com.
I'll just.
Yeah, and just click on upload and then upload the file. Either drag and drop or click on upload.
Okay, sir. Got it. I'll just do it. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Sir, in my system, it is saying site can't be reached. Sir,
What do I say to that? I mean, try a different browser or something, try an incognito mode.
Yes.
Because is it an email ID? Which email ID are you using?
Sir, on Office Outlook.
Yeah, then don't do that. Use a Gmail account. You see, you have to try something, right? Because if you're using your student ID, then it depends on your admin. If they have not configured it properly, then it might throw an error. Right?
Yes.
Just use a personal Gmail account. That should also work. So don't worry, it will take some time to get started with the first example. Once we get started, then everything will fall into place, right? First session is always a little slow. So I want to give everybody time to catch up. Okay, parallelly, I'll also start with the example, right? I hope you'll be able to multitask a little bit. Tell me, what are we trying to do here? What is CLV, by the way? Everyone, what is CLV?
Sir, it is customer lifetime value.
What does it mean? In a simple sentence, what does CLV mean?
So the total revenue that we'll be getting from a customer.
As simple as that. If a customer has been with us for 3 years, we want to see how many transactions have happened. What is the lifetime sales of that customer, right? So if I've been a Swiggy user for many years, some months I don't use, some months I use a little more. The CLV would say that in my lifetime, I have made a transactional purchase worth, let us say, whatever, 75,000 from Swiggy, something like that, right? Okay. Now, CLV is a very important topic in marketing because on the basis of CLV, there are many other calculations that you can do. And I will not get into the theory here because it's all available online. You can go and do that, right? But the basic idea of CLV here is the lifetime value generated by a customer, right? As simple as that. Okay. Now, here's my question. I have a data set where I have 99 transactions, right? So every transaction tells me who was the customer, which market do they belong to, what is the sales amount, what is the profit amount. Now, I would like to know the CLV for each customer. But before I do that, I know that certain customers might have purchased multiple times, isn't it? Like Aaron is purchasing more than once, clearly. So I would like to get a list of unique customers. How do I do that? Basic data cleaning, right? Data preparation. I want to get a list of unique customers in column G, where the color is green. How do I do that? Whatever comes to your mind, tell me, how do you remove duplicates?
Sir, using the duplicate option in the Excel.
Okay, now most people would have learned this at some point that I can copy the data, right? And then I can paste it, and then I can go to data and I can select remove duplicate, correct? This is what we have been doing for more than 25 years. Now we don't have to do this because I have this beautiful new function called unique, right? And how does unique work? All you have to do is you have to select B7. How do you come to the last cell in that column? What is the shortcut?
Sir, control shift,
Control shift and down arrow, correct? So if I press Control Shift down arrow, it comes down. Now, how do I go back to the formula? What is the shortcut? You will not know this.
F2.
No. We press Control backspace. Right? Control backspace will take you back to the formula. One more time. I'm writing unique, correct? First cell, obviously, you have to select. Then you press Control Shift down arrow. If you press F2, you will go to the formula bar. We don't want that, right? So what we are doing is we are doing equal to unique. I'm selecting B7, Control Shift down arrow. To go back to the formula, I press Control backspace. Very easy, right? So what will happen is that when I say unique of B7, B105, out of the 199 transactions that we have, it will tell us there are 72 unique customers like this. Any questions so far?
The command once again, the last drag down what you said about.
Yeah, so once we have written unique, and I select the first cell, which is B7, I will press Control plus Shift plus down arrow to go to the last cell. Control plus Shift, right? Like this. Also, these shortcuts have already been given to you, is it? Or no, I haven't given it, but I'll give it right now. Wait. Hold on. So website downloads. I'll be giving you a very large list of Excel shortcuts, which is like this. When I say very large, it is very, very large. As you can see, it has almost not every single shortcut, but 90% of the shortcuts in Excel have been given here, right? Like this. So which one did we just cover? We did Control plus Shift plus down arrow. Do you see this? Control plus Shift. So like this, every shortcut has been given here. Of course, you have to remember it, but then at least I've given everything in one place. This link also I'll be sharing with you. This is website downloads. And how do I share it? Copy link. I'll put it on the chat window, and I will also put it on the notepad so that I'll share it later. So these are website downloads like this. Right? Okay.
Sir,
Yep.
sir, the same thing can be done if we do the remove duplicate, sir. The same pattern can.
That is manual, no? You'll have
no.
to copy the data, you'll have to paste the data, then you'll have to go to data, you'll have to do remove duplicate.
Sir,
Tomorrow, if the data changes, you'll have to again repeat that process.
So, sir, actually, sir, the thing which we have done is, sir, we have just got the names, okay, which are unique, okay. But sir, for if I have to make the data, then I have to again copy the things and I have to search the data one by one. But if I remove the duplicate,
Why will you remove the duplicate? Then you are tampering with the original data, isn't it? How
Sir,
can you tamper your original data?
So getting a unique thing, I think that
You don't get my point. See, if I select this and I remove the duplicate, then Aaron will only come one time. But Aaron 221 plus 341 plus 48 plus 17 is what you need to do, right? If you remove the duplicate, then these numbers will go away. Do you get my point?
Okay, good.
Right? See, remove duplicate, what you're saying is when there is a redundant data, that the same record is coming 5 times due to a mistake, right? That is when you remove it. Here, every transaction is different. I can't remove duplicates, right?
Got
Okay.
it.
Now, this is my formula. I'll also paste the screenshot of the formula here so that all of you can see it. Now, tell me, this is only the name of customer, no? But I also need the sales value. How do we do that? I need the total sales for Aaron, total sales for Justin, total for Craig, like that. So that means that if I look at Aaron Bergman, how many transactions does Aaron has? Aaron has 6 transactions, correct? So I need to know the sum of these numbers, which is 886, right? But I obviously can't do it manually for every person. So I have to use a formula and we use Sumif. Okay, now there are 3 arguments in Sumif. We have range, then we have criteria, and we have sum range. So tell me, Aaron Bergman is what out of these 3? This name is what? Range, criteria, or sum range?
So it would be criteria.
It will be the criteria. But if this is the criteria, where am I searching for it? What is the range?
B7 to B1.
In the B column, yeah.
Rather than selecting from B7 till the last one, it is much easier to select B colon B, right? Now in B colon B, I'm searching for G11, right? And what is the sum range? Where is the result? What are we trying to add? Which column are we trying to add?
D colon.
Column D. Very simple. So what will it do? It will tell me 886, right? But here's my question. How do you copy this formula till the last cell?
Sir, the dot at the bottom right corner.
Either I can double click on this, right?
Sir,
Or
could you please repeat the Sumif part once more, the formula part?
yeah, so in Sumif, we have 3 arguments. So I have range. That means in column B, what are we searching for? In the blue column, we are searching for this criteria, G11. That means in column B, we have 99 names, which is the name that we are interested in. only Aaron Bergman. So out of these 99 rows, only 6 rows have Aaron Bergman. For those 6 rows, what do we want to add? We want to add the value in column D, which is 221 plus 341 plus 48 plus 70. So if I can just highlight it for you, we want to add this. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right. Look at the arguments here that will help you. So there are 3 arguments. Range is B. What are we searching? We are searching for Aaron, and where is the sum range in column D?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Now we were talking about how do you copy this formula till the end? Somebody said double click. Okay. What other options are there?
We can just click on it and drag.
We can click on it and drag, or I can select it and do Control C, Control V. I can do Control plus D. But here's the thing. In this cell, the formula is written, a function is there. How many results is this one formula giving you? How many names are there?
72.
72. Now, can I not somehow tell Excel that, see, I don't want to get only G11. I would like to get all the names that have been written from G11 till the last cell. How do you do that? For this, we use a special character, which is a hash. Do you see what happened? Look at this. I have selected G11. Now, I don't know whether the last name is in G20 or 25 or 100 or 500, right? But the moment I put a hash, what does it do? It automatically detects that, okay, Havish wanted G11 till the end, so it automatically selects till the last one. And now you notice in one formula, you will get all the results. So I don't have to copy and paste my formula at all.
Sir, can you repeat this?
It's right in front of you.
Okay.
When I say G11, it only shows me the result for G11. But if I say G11 hash, it selects all the values. Okay.
And the formula gets automatically updated that if we add another name in that, values get changed.
Absolutely. Can I prove it to you? I'm just putting Havish 3 times. Please watch. I'm putting Havish 3 times. Okay, right in front of you. Did you see what happened? Havish came here and the formula is also working. Now there's one more name, but everything has got shifted down. So I don't have to do any manual copy and paste anymore.
Hi, sir. So I have a doubt. As in, once I put the hash, I'm getting a spill error.
Yeah, because you already have values below it. That's why you will get a spill error. Just delete everything below it because you need to give it space, right? If you already have something below it, then how will it spill the formula into all the other cells?
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you please repeat the Havish part again?
Which part?
Sir, the one where you put your name and the entire transaction was visible.
Sure. Why don't I explain it in a smaller example so that it is clearer? Okay. So I'm just putting A, B, C, right? A few times like this. And what I'm doing is I'm saying equal to unique of this range, correct? What does it do? It gives me ABC, right? Now, how do I find the count? I will say equal to count A of D3 hash. Any questions so far, anyone? I've taken a very simple data here, but still, if you have any question, please tell me. Is this okay? So I have 3 unique values and this is the count of those 3 values. Now, the moment I say, okay, but there is a D, what will happen? The unique will also increase by 1 and the count should also change. Let us see if that happens.
Right, got it.
Right?
Got it, sir.
So the advantage here is that you're automating it. Tomorrow, if a value changes, you don't have to bother to again apply a count or drag the formula down or copy and paste. It will take care of it automatically.
Is this only because of the hash we use there?
What is because of the hash?
Like you use the hashtag there. So in order if you're having any changes in the primary, like in the names,
It is
that will get
connected, no?
automatically
See,
changed.
right now my formula is connected to G11 hash, all of these red cells. So if anything changes here, the change will happen in column H as well.
Sir, if we don't put up hash, what will
If you don't put the hash, then you will only get the value for G11.
Sir, I'm putting the
we
hash,
want
but
the values for G11. So what does the hash function do?
The hash, that's what I've written. No? Hash selects all the values.
sir, I'm putting the hash, but I'm not getting. But sir, if I put G11, I'm getting the value. But when I add the hash, it comes 0. Nothing is.
Can you share your screen? Let's see.
Yes. Sir, see.
Yeah, just show me the formula once. Yeah, so the thing is that just put a hash.
Yes.
Okay, that's all right. Just go to Aaron Bergman once. Yeah, because your formula is also including customer name, right? That's the reason why. So you don't have to write G11, G12 hash. You will put G11 hash.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Right?
Sir, but in the previous screen, I think Swarit shared it, right? So there, I think when we selected the customer name as well, on the right side of Aaron Bergman, 0 was there because customer name has 0 data.
No, because he has selected the heading. No, that's why. You should not be selecting the heading. See, I'm not selected the heading here.
Sir, instead of putting G11 hashtag, can we select the whole column?
No, no, no.
That
because you have to define G11, which is the first value, right? Because G11 has a formula in it. That's why you have to select it.
Sir, but my first value was at G12 only, not 11.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, try to put the formulas in the same cells.
Okay, I got it. Customer name
how
was...
will we compare?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good. Any other question? Anyone? So this topic is called dynamic arrays. I'm sure some of you come from an engineering background, computer science. So the same concept of arrays that we have in programming, we have arrays in Excel as well, right? Okay, let's continue with the example. Now I want to sort the data. Right now it is in a, what order is this? Can somebody tell me?
This is randomized, right?
It's randomized, right? Because my transaction is also random. This is also random, but I would like to create an order. I would like to sort the data by the sales amount in a descending order. So because I only want to see the top customers, you know, in the first 5-10 rows. So the function we write is called sort by. So in sort by, what do we select? We select our array as, right? Please watch. G11, H11, control shift down. So we are selecting G11 to H82. And then we are saying, what is the by array? My by array is H11 hash, right? And the sort order is descending, which is -1. And you notice now the top customer comes with the top, so Patrick, and then the number. Let me just show you the formula here. So this is also very important learning. Like a lot of people say, but H11 has a hash, G11, H82 does not have a hash. That is the point. You can't put a hash everywhere, right? I can only put a hash on H11 because all of these cells are connected. But these two columns are not connected to each other. They are independent columns, right? So G11, H22, you will still have to select manually, but H11 hash, you can select with a hash.
Sir, could you please repeat this part once again for the hash one, which you said manually?
I'm sorry, can you just speak a little louder?
Sir, I said that. Could you please repeat the last part which you just said right now? Means the selecting one. Why can't we select it together? That thing.
Because you can't, right? Because there is a separate formula in G11 and there's a separate formula in H11.
Okay.
So how will you be able to select both of them, right, together?
So could you please tell what is sort order? Why did we take
Sort order is -1 is descending, right? So it is written here. You will notice that 1 is ascending, -1 is descending. So if you select ascending, you will get 886, 1487, 1502, 1526. And if you make it -1, then it comes in a largest to smallest order. That's all. Don't you do this? So when you apply a filter on a data, you do this, right? Smallest to largest, largest to smallest. It is exactly like that.
Okay, sir.
Right? And now let's come to the final part of this problem, which is that I have the list of all the customers, but this is not the way I would present a model to my manager or to a client, right? I want to show only the top 10 customers. That means out of these, I just want to show who are the top 10. I don't need the value. I just need the name of the top 10 customers. So how do we do it? Please watch. I will say equal to index. Index is like a position. So if I say 1, it will tell me the first person. If I say 2, it will tell me the second person. Let me just show you. So if I say that in J11 hash, right, I'm only looking at the first row. What will happen? It will show me, okay, that does not work. First row and first column, it will show me Patrick Jones. Is this okay, everyone? In J11 hash, it's a grid, right, which has 2 columns and rows in it. So I'm saying, tell me what is the value in the first row and the first column. So what does it do? It tells me Patrick Jones. But I don't need only the first person. I need the top 10 people. So we will use another function called sequence 10, and this will give me the top 10 people like this. So if you see how the dynamic model is created, if I say 3, 5, or 10, the result also changes, right? Like this. And sequence is nothing. Sequence is literally a sequence of numbers, right? Like this.
Sir, I have a question, like what is the last one signify? In the formula, what is the last one?
The one means I need first column. If you had said 2, it would have given you the second column.
Oh, okay, sir.
Right? That's all. See, it's like a grid, isn't it? This is a grid which has 2 columns and 172 rows in it. So I only need the top 10 rows. So I'm writing 10, which is sequence 10, and then 1 because I only need the values from the first column. So this is the end goal, right? So when I work with a client, this is what they want to see. They don't want to see everything else. If you notice, the only thing they want to see is this. They want to say, Havish, I will put in 3. It will tell me who are the top 3 customers. If the management says, no, tell me who are the top 10 customers, we can put in a 10. It will show me the top 10 customers, right? Right. So we have learned unique, Sumif, hash, sort by, index, and sequence, right? See, this is how all my problems have been created. I don't like to teach formula by formula, like a lot of other folks would do. I also used to do that early in my career. But then I realized that's not the best way to understand Excel. No, then you will remember one day, second day you will forget, right? If I teach you what is unique, what is Sumif, what is index, this is a real problem. This is exactly what I do for my clients, right? Literally, I mean, not even 99%, 100%, these are challenges that I'm solving for my clients. I'm building these models and these formulas for my clients. Right? So quickly go through everything and tell me if you have any question.
Sir, can you just tell me how to apply the sort by filter once again? A sort by and index filter once again?
Sure. So the first part is array, right? Which is both the columns. So from G11 to H82. Now I'm saying that in this array, there is a by array. That means by what do I want to sort it, right? Right now, the data is randomized, like all of you said. There is no pattern. It's not alphabetical. It is not in a ascending or a descending order. I would like it to be sorted by which column? By H11 hash. Can somebody tell me if I made it G11 hash, what would have happened?
Alphabetical.
It would
names would be in alphabetical order.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So the
so
names
it
would
would
have
be
come in a
reverse.
alphabetical, right? If I made it 1, it would have come in a alphabetical order from A to Z. Does it make sense? So the G11 is letting you decide the by array, which means which column are you using to decide the order of your data, and the 1 or the -1 is the sort order, ascending or descending.
Right, sir. But like I actually tried applying it, but actually showing me a spell error.
Yeah, just make sure all the cells below it are empty. Otherwise, it will not work. If you have any value in any of the cells, right, it will give you a spell error.
Right, got it.
Right. So while we're on the topic of errors, because any good Excel user will always face errors. Errors is not a bad thing. Errors tell me that you're actually experimenting and you're curious and you're trying out different things, right? It doesn't tell me that you don't know what you're doing. So I have this very nice video on errors. I'll just share the link with you. So what I've done in this video is that I've explained what are the different types of errors that you face, and I can't find it. Hold on. Handling errors, this one. Okay. Right, so here you go. I've taken all the errors that happen in Excel. Some of them you would have seen, some of them you would not have seen. Like we just encountered the spill error, and I've explained how all of these errors can be handled. If you want to download the file and practice with it, you can just go to GitHub and download that as well. So I'll just share it with everyone. And I'll put it here as well in the notepad. Okay. One more thing I would like you to read about is dynamic arrays, okay, which are on Excel. So very quickly. Dynamic arrays in Excel. Let me show you the official documentation. And as you can see, it very clearly says it is only available on Microsoft 365, Excel for the web, and Excel 2021. That's it, right? Not on 2019 or 16 or 30. And what is the logic behind it? The logic is that it will spill the formula, because one formula is giving you not one result, but multiple results, like a unique. Unique will not give me one result, right? It will give me many results. That is what it does. Great. Let's come back to our problem. Cool. Any other question on this, anybody? We'll do a different problem after this. So just let me know if you have anything you want to ask. All okay? All right. Let's do something a little different now, but equally important. So I would like all of you to come to incentive plan, this one. This is an example which will be relevant for everybody. HR, finance, marketing, supply chain, wherever you are, this is super important, right? Because you have to look at incentives everywhere, right? Whether you're doing it for your dealer, distributor, your team, your internal customers, your vendors, right? You have to look at incentives. Okay, so just read this and tell me what do you understand from this.
So the target was for around 124 and he achieved 192.
Correct.
Similarly, for other members, other customers also.
Will Aaron get an incentive, yes or no?
Yes, he should get.
But you have not seen the other conditions. Read it completely.
The goals haven't met. In both the columns there should be a yes. Then you should be getting the incentive.
No, that is not what it says. It says either of the goals has to be met.
Okay.
For example, when you guys apply for a SIM card, right? They ask you for your address proof, correct? Do they tell you to give them all your address proof, or do they tell you give me at least one?
At least.
Get my point, right? So that is an at least, which means there is a choice. I'm telling the person, see, I'm giving you two goals for product A and for product B. An example would be, let's say I'm in business development for Infosys, or let's say Maruti Suzuki. Now I have a separate target for hatchbacks. I have a separate target for sedans, right? Now the company tells me that at least one of them you have to meet, right? Either you sell 15 hatchbacks or you sell 7 sedans in a month, right? If you meet both of them, great, but at least one of them has to be met. And what is the third condition?
Sir, I think it's the duration, like when he has joined till how much month?
What is the correct term here? We are not looking at duration. It's not a project.
Deadline.
No. When we talk about a customer,
Experience.
there is a specific term we use. It starts with the letter
Tenure.
tenure.
Tenure, sir. Tenure.
We are looking at the tenure. So which customer do I want to make happy? Older customers or newer customers?
Younger one.
It depends.
older
It
one.
depends. See, it depends on the business. Typically, if you're offering discounts, you will sometimes give discount to new customers so that you can gain the customer. Correct. Sometimes you want to make the older customers happy because you want to ensure that they are getting credited for the loyalty that they have. In this case, we are dealing with customers and we want to look at a higher tenure. So what are we saying? The person should have been with the company for more than 2 years, right? So tell me, according to these 3 conditions, will Aaron get an incentive, yes or no?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes. Target
Yes, sir.
is clearly, I mean, achievement is clearly more than target. Product A is met, even though B is not met. And the person has been with the company for more than 2 years. Okay, what about Justin?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
No,
Because 10th October. Okay, what about Toby? Toby is our oldest customer, by the way. He has been around.
Yes, sir.
But no, because look at this. Achievement has to be.
Oh, sorry, sir. Yes.
Okay, more than.
Right? Now, you might argue and say, but this was so close, you know, it's just 1 lakh. But that's not the case, right? If you get 39 in an exam, you don't pass, right? It doesn't matter how close or far you are, right? Okay, now this is what we want to do. First, we want to look at what incentive is there, and then we want to find out what amount of incentive is given. So Aaron will get 10% of this, but there is a capping that nobody can get more than 20. Like when you order on Swiggy, it says that you get a 20% off, right? But they always have a capping. They say that you get a 20% off up to 150, something like that, right? So we want to incorporate all these things in it. Okay, let's start. What is the first thing I should do?
First, we'll have to see the ratio of achievement versus target.
We are not really concerned about the ratio. We just want to know whether it's higher than 1 or lesser than 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
but in terms of a formula, what is the first thing I write?
If I think it's C12, sorry, C13 hash greater than.
No, not hash. Here the hash will not work. Why will it not work? Because C13 is not a formula. C13 is a value.
Right. Okay.
Correct? So you can't select all of them because these cells are not connected to each other, right?
Okay.
Okay. So let's only look at one cell. Let's not look at all of them. If I say is C13 minus 124 should be what? It should be achievement minus target should be what? What operator should I write? Equal to, less than, greater than?
Greater than 0.
Everybody agrees
Greater
with
than
this?
0.
But here's the problem. This is my logical test. If I put a comma, now it says, okay, what is the result? Excel is allowing me to only give one test. But how many tests do we have? We have 3 tests, right? So I can't use only one logical test. I have to put 2 more logical tests. How do we do that?
Sir, and?
Right.
Like
so the way the syntax of Excel is that the and never comes after the test. It always comes in the beginning, like this. Right? Now, do you see it says logical 1, logical 2, logical 3? What does it mean? What is all this? Logical 2, 3,
We
4,
can
5.
add number of logic.
You can add how many?
N number.
Unlimited.
Okay.
Ideally unlimited.
It's not exactly n. It is restricted to 255, right? But it is such a large number that you will never need it. I mean, I don't think I've ever done more than maybe 20, right? So it's completely impractical for you ever to need more than 255. And if you do need more than 255, you can put an and within another and. So it essentially is infinite, right? Okay, so this is C13 minus B13 is greater than 0. Now this is the first logical test. What is the second logical test?
The date of joining, it will have to
No, first let's go to product goal. Let's talk about this. Okay, how did I do this? How did I go from this line to this line? Using a shortcut?
Shift enter.
Alt enter.
Alt enter.
Alt enter.
So alt enter is the line break, which means it will break it from one to the next line. Now between the 2 goals, there is a choice, right? So what should I write? Like we wrote the and before, now there's a choice.
Or.
Either this or.
Or.
We will write or. This also makes sense. Now in the or, I will say that D13 is equal to Y. E13 is equal to Y. What is the role of these spaces that I'm putting in the formula before and after the equal to sign? Anyone? What is the role of these spaces? No role. Then why am I putting the spaces if there is no role?
Sir, to create so that it's clear to you, the person who is.
So we always say that to improve the readability of a formula, you put spaces in a formula. Excel does not mind. Even if I want to put, for some reason, if I want to put these many spaces, Excel doesn't care. Excel says, fine, you put as many spaces as you want, which is a very good thing, by the way, right? Okay. Then I put a comma. Now, what is the third condition? That the date of joining should be at least 2 years old, isn't it? Now, there's a very easy way of doing it. We say year frac. That means F13, comma, today. The difference as a fraction, as a decimal number between 25th June 2019 and 21st March 2021 should be greater than 2. If all these 3 conditions are met, then the person will get incentive. Otherwise, the person gets no incentive, right? But that's not what we want. No, we want to give an incentive that has been calculated. So I will say the incentive should be 10% of the total achievement, but there is a capping of 20. So I will say minimum, comma 20. Now, what does it mean? It means that if I just copy it down first, now everybody is getting this, but do you notice this? Catherine was supposed to get 10% of 250, which would have been 25.
Sir, can you repeat the last line?
I will repeat everything, but I just want to highlight this one thing to you. Catherine achieved 250, right? She met all her targets, met all the conditions. Now she should have got 10% of 250, which is 25, but I have an internal capping of 20. So nobody can get more than 20. That is why Catherine is only getting 20 here, right? Like this. So I'll just show you the formula once. Look at it and now tell me if you have any question. Right? I just make it a little larger so that you can all see.
Sir, could you
Tell me.
could you please repeat that min formula what you have used?
Let's go through it step by step. What is 10% of C13? C13. What is 10% of C13?
9.2.
19.2.
19.2.
If I find the minimum between two numbers, 19.2 and 20, what will I get?
19.2.
19.2. Okay. But in the case of Catherine, what was 10% of 250? It was 25. But I cannot give more than 25, right? Content 20, right? So I'm saying, what is the minimum between 20 and 25? It is 20. So the result is 20. Does it make sense?
Yes.
It's completely logical, right? Yes, it's a little long of a formula, so it's not a short formula. There are many moving parts in it, but there is no part in it which you can say, Havish, it doesn't make sense. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? It makes perfect sense. It is like a paragraph written in English. It explains exactly what you're trying to do, right? I would like all of you to write it. Please don't just look at it and think you have understood it. Even if you have understood it, when you type it yourself, you will understand it better, right? You might make a mistake. You will figure out why that mistake happened. So we're in no hurry, right? Every example is covering many different functions, right? So please make sure to take your time, ask as many questions as you want.
Sir, I have a question that why didn't we need to put hash in this formula? Because
it's not a question of why did we not need to, it's that we can't. It's not possible, right? Because these are numbers. See, if I say equal to 124 hash, nothing happens because are these cells connected to each other? No, they're not connected to each other.
Achha.
Hash will only work when the cells are connected with one formula, right?
Sir, will it make a difference? Like if we use single inverted comma
No,
in.
Of course, it will make a difference. You have to use, let me also write it down.
Because I see in many times it makes a difference.
No, single never works. Single is not supposed to work. It might work in programming languages. In Excel, you always, with no exceptions, have a double quote. Single only works when you want to create a text value. Other than that, always double quote.
Okay.
Also, could you please explain this error flag part?
I will. I'll also quickly explain what the single does, everyone. So if I put apostrophe 100, what will it become? Everyone, if I put apostrophe 100 and I press enter, what will happen? It will become a text value. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
That is the role of the single apostrophe, right? Other than that, nothing to do with formulas. It's always a double quote. Okay, what does a year frag do? Very simply put, let me put my date of birth. So I'm 22nd November 1986. If I look at my age as of today, what will I write? Equal to year frag, start date, comma, today. And it tells me that as of today, I am 35.33 years old, like this. Right? That's all. Very simple.
Sir, this is Swanak. I had just a question here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, what I did was instead of putting year fact, I just did, since today is already a function in Excel. So today, first bracket, last bracket rows minus F13.
But that will give you days, right?
No, sir, it gives years in terms of.
How can it give you years? If you say today minus this, it is going to give you, oh, I'm sorry. It is going to give you days, right? 12,903 days. It can't give you years. It will always give you days.
Yes, I understand.
Right?
So that today it will take our system's date, no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. As of like right now it's 11:28 p.m. So it will consider 21st March. If you open this file after midnight, it will automatically take 22nd March. If you did not want to keep today and you wanted to keep a specific date, then you could have kept that date. For example, if I wanted to know as of the 31st of March, I could have written 31/03/2022. Right? In case you want your formula to be fixed, you don't want it to continuously change as the date changes, you can put it manually as well. Like
in
this.
any format, right?
Not in any format, but in any accepted format in Excel.
No, like date comes first and month comes second, like I was asking.
Of course, it has to be in that format. Absolutely. Right, so we have learned if, and, or, year frac, today, min. Right, so a lot of things have been covered in this example. It's a slightly long formula.
Sir, do we need to drag it down to get the other value?
You do.
Like
You do.
I got 19 point.
You will have to. Absolutely. I also did the same thing. You will have to drag it down. Okay, now let me show you something very cool. Go to insert and go to add-ins, everyone. I'll just highlight it for you. So go to insert, right? And then go to add-ins. Get add-ins. And this is a store, like you have a store for iOS and for Android. You also have a store for Microsoft applications, even for Power BI. Now, some of these have been created by Microsoft. Some of these have been created by other companies and other developers. For example, SAP has an app for Excel, right? SAP Analytics Cloud. If you look at Salesforce, they also have an app for Excel, right? Okay. Now, the one that we want is called Formula. Everyone, the one that we want is called Formula Forge, F-O-R-G-E. Please add it. Formula Forge. It will just take 5 seconds for you to install it. So when I add it and I continue, where does it come? It comes in the Formulas tab. So in the Formulas tab, the last option is a new command that has been created called Get Formula. It's a beautiful feature. What it does is that if you take your cell, your cursor on the formula cell, this one, right? And if you click on Get Formula, it will create a tree view of your formula like this. Can you see this? And this makes it so much easier to understand how the formula is working, like this.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I don't have access to the Office store.
Yeah.
Same here, sir.
Yeah, I will not be able to comment on that.
Problem.
If you are using the college account, it might have been blocked for you. So I would suggest that you log into Excel online using a personal Gmail account.
Okay, sir.
Right. Also, you have a right to go to college and tell them, please enable this for us, because there is absolutely no reason for blocking it. I'll tell you the reason it has been blocked, because the administrator has to enable it. And most people don't know it, or they don't bother enabling it. Even in organizations, most organizations have not blocked it because it's an official store, right? So there is no risk of downloading anything bad from here, right? So please speak to college and tell them that this is very important to us. We would like you to enable the Office add-ins for us. Right? As a matter of fact, there are about 1,000 apps available. I also have 2 apps here. So if you type my name, at least, okay, you can't do it, but I'll show it to you. So if you type my name, I have 2 add-ins. One is for changing the case, one is for stopwatch. This is very cool. What it does is, it creates a stopwatch inside Excel like this. which is so interesting, right? When you're giving a presentation or you're working on a project, you can just see how much time you have taken on Excel, right? Right, and this has been created on JavaScript. As you can see, this is like a web page. So you can see the code behind it. Right? Okay. Anyway, even if you were not able to do it, I hope you were able to see what it is and how helpful this is. The tree view, right? Like this. So just see how nice this is. It tells me that my if, the first part is C13 minus B13. What is the result? 192 minus 124 is 68. Is 68 greater than 0? True. Now I'm saying B13 is Y. Yes. E13 is Y. False. So one is true, one is false. But because I'm using an OR, that is also okay because at least one of them has to be true. Okay. In your frat, F13 minus today is 2.73. Is it greater than 2? Yes. Finally, I'm saying 19.2 is what? 10% of 192. But is 19.2 and 20, which is one is the minimum? 19.2. So what will the person get? The person will get an incentive of 19.2. If the conditions were not met, the person would have got a no incentive, like this.
Sir, can you just repeat how to access the formula forge once we have downloaded it?
Yeah, so once you download it, it will come in formulas, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
the last option here, get formula.
Right, got it, sir.
Right? Every add-in that you install will come in a different location, right? Some of them might be a new tab like this, the one I have for Python. Some of it might come in an existing group, right? So first time you will have to observe where it has come. Like this one is coming in Formula Forge in the formulas tab.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Anything else? Anyone? On this? Yeah, I think this was a fairly easy example. We covered many topics, but it was not very difficult, right? So let me close this and let's come to something new. Hold on, let me just check my notes and see what we want to cover next. I will come back to some marketing example, but before that, I would like to do an HR example, okay? Let's come to CTC grouping. CTC grouping. Okay. Can you tell me what is the problem that we have here? We have the list of employees. We have the present CTC, but what is the problem that we have?
Sir, it's not in a consistent format.
Right? It's highly inconsistent, right? What are the inconsistencies? Somewhere it is LACS, somewhere it is LAKHS, somewhere it is only a number. Sometimes it is LACS oblique annum, right? Somewhere there is extra space. So there are lots of problems here. So how do we fix it? We just need the numbers, right? How do we do that? Anyone? Okay, please do it with me. Just type 4. Everybody, just type 4. Come to the next cell and press Control E, E for elephant, and see what happens. So I'll also write the shortcut here. Control plus E is for flash fill. Beautiful, right? No formulas required. Any question on this?
So can you repeat again?
There's nothing to repeat. I just put in the number 4 and then I pressed Control E and that's it. All the results will come.
So what does this column signify? CTC lakhs FF.
CTC lakhs, the number in lakhs that the person is getting.
Sir,
And
if we write the 4 lakhs, then it will all the cell will have will occupy.
No, we don't want to
at
write
the
4
lakh.
lakhs in any case, no, because then how will you do calculations on it? It has to be only a number.
Oh, okay, sir.
That was the objective, right? That we only need the number. Like this is how we want it. We don't need the text value. Correct? Okay. Now let me show you how powerful flash fill is, right? Let me just delete it for a minute. If I write AARON, what do you think will happen when I press Ctrl E?
Only first name.
Only
First
the
name will
first
come.
name will come. Does it make sense? So now when I write Aaron space B, do you think it will work? Yes or no? Quickly.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It works beautifully. Okay. What if I say aaron.b@gmail.com? Do you think this will work? This pattern will work?
No, sir.
Isn't that amazing? No need to write formulas, no need to learn how to do it. Just give one sample, press Ctrl E, and it does the rest for you. Right? Okay. Now a little bit about this topic. So flash fill is not a new feature. Flash fill has been in Excel for about 10 years now. And flash fill was created by an Indian guy. His name is Sumif Gulbani. Sumit is the IIT Kanpur Stanford graduate. He did his PhD in computer science from Stanford. He studied at IIT Kanpur. His name is Sumit Gulbani. Right? And you can just Google him and read about him. But I mean, he's the one who's credited for creating flash fill, right? And he's a very senior person at Microsoft. And you should definitely read about him. So yeah, I mean, he's the one who essentially created it. I'll just share the link with you in case you want to go back and read it. Right? So the idea of flash fill is that any pattern that you give it, it can repeat that pattern. For example, if I give it a different pattern, right? What if I said, I just want AB? I mean, even though it doesn't make any sense, for some reason, I just wanted the two initials, right? The letter A and the letter B. Look at this. It is able to repeat that pattern. How amazing is that? Now, how does it work? I can't show you, right? It's a black box. It uses a lot of different algorithms in it. So it uses regular expressions. It uses Excel logic, right? It has some other reference libraries. But the basic answer is that it will not create a formula. It will just give you the result. And how it works, we don't know. And we can't change that, right? So yeah, any questions on this?
Sir, you are just pressing Control E.
Control E, correct. The option is in data. The option is in data and then flash fill, right? You have to give one sample before pressing Control E.
Okay.
So I'm giving a sample 4, then I'm pressing Control E.
So does it have to be the first data?
No, of course not. I can give it 31. That also works. Right? The sample could be from any value in that column.
So are there any this type of example it doesn't work on? Like,
of course, it depends on how unclean the data is. So I can't give you a black and white answer saying that it will or will not work unless we see what type of data is there.
Sir, you can just try typing the last letters of the names, like for Aaron and Aaron Bergman, N and N, it won't work.
Like this. So that doesn't work. So let's give one more sample. So I'll give it TER, right? And that also doesn't work. Hold on. All good. So I had to give 3 samples and then it worked.
Yes, sir. Like it mostly works from what I see, sir. It mostly works on regular expressions, like finding out how the pattern fits with each of the
Yeah,
solid
so regular expression is definitely something they're using, but that's not the only thing. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but the little bit I could find on the internet, they're using regular expression and some other things as well. Absolutely, but regular expression, of course, would be used there. Okay. But we could have also written a formula if we wanted to. I could have said equal to left, right? Now, how many characters do I want to get the number 4?
One.
That is a problem, right? If I write 1, then it will give me 1 from everyone, right? But the second one is a 12. So what do I do? I will say, okay, please watch. Let me just increase the size so all of you can see it clearly. I will say that from the left, okay, I don't want 1. I want to find the space. Now, how do I find the space? Find a space, right, in C8. Can you tell me what is the position of the space in this value?
Second.
2. So I will do -1. So that will give me 1. So it will give me 4. And when I copy it down, it will give me 12, 24, 37. Why is it coming as 12 now? Because now the space is on the 3rd position. So 3 minus 2 will be, 3 minus 1 will be 2. But there's a problem. Let me just complete the formula. The problem is that why are these not working? 37.
So
Because
there are
there's a lot
integers.
of space in front
Because
of
there's no
you.
space in it, right? So the formula doesn't work because there is no space in that data. So how will it find that space? So I have to do an error handler. I have to say that if there is an error in this formula, what should I do?
Take a right.
No, show me the same value.
Okay.
See, if the CTC is already a number and I can't do left on it, then show me the number as it is. So if you notice, right, I can just show the number. But why is some of it left aligned and some of it right aligned?
Because some are not numbers.
These are not numbers. So how do we convert it into a number? We use
Formatting.
value. No, not formatting. We use value, right? So this is my final formula. Take your time, right? We are learning a few different things here. So we are doing, let me just break it into a new line so that you can understand better, right? Like this.
Sir, please repeat from the first.
Okay, let me go.
Not understand from.
Yeah, let me go step by step. So first we find the space in C8. What is the result?
Sir, 4.
2.
We reached to 2.
Space
sorry,
is on the
sorry,
second
2.
character, correct? The position, if I can draw an arrow here, is the position of the space, not the second character, right? Okay, so this is 2. Okay, now I say what is 2 minus 1? It is 1. Now from the left of C8, I just want 1 character, so it will give me 4, right? But if I look at this cell, there's a problem. The problem is that when I do left of C17 find space, there is no find here. The find will not work because there is no space in it. So this formula will give me an error. So what do? I say that, okay, if there is an error in the formula, you show me the same value, which is 37 only. But why are we doing value? So that everything gets converted into a number. Right? So the find will find the position of the space. -1, so this is 2 minus 1, which is 1. Left of C8, 1 character will be 4. But if there is an error in the formula, if there is no space, then you show me the same value, which is C8, right? And of course, convert everything into a number by using value. I'll just write the steps here so that all of you can see.
Sir, repeat 1 second, please.
find position of space, which is equal to 2. Reduced by 1, which becomes 1. Right? So now we do 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1 character from left. That means the space is on the second position. I'm doing 2 minus 1, so it gives me 1, which is 4. So 4 is only taking 1 character. So 2 minus 1 is 1 character from the left, which is only 4. In the case of 12, the space will be on the third position. 3 minus 1 will be 2, and 12 will be 2 characters, right? But the problem is that if there is no space, show the cell as it is, right? For example, in the case of 37, there is no space. So what do? Don't do anything. Just show me the same number, 37, right? And value converts into a number. So you'll have to practice, right? If you don't do it yourself, you will not really understand. Simply looking at a formula will never help you understand how Excel works, right? Unless and until you try it step by step. Don't copy the same entire thing at once. First, do the find. After doing the find, do -1, then do left, then do if error, and then do value. Step by step, see how the result comes.
Sir, actually, I'm facing continuous error in the process. If I could just share my screen with you. Thank you, sir. Just 2 minutes. Just give me 2. Sir, the formula in particular, I just wanted to understand the error that I'm creating. It's a little hard for me to detect.
So left of C8, find a space in C8, a -1, comma C8. I don't know, everything seems okay. Just press enter. What is the error that comes?
So after -1, there is one bracket close.
Yeah,
That's why I think it's the problem.
Correct.
Right. So thank you, sir.
So this is another problem with Excel Online, that while even Excel is not very good at telling you what type of error is coming, so unlike a programming language where it will help you a lot to understand what type of error is there, Excel is never good at that. Online is even worse. Online will not even attempt to tell you what error is there. At least here, when I make an error, right? For example, here also, if I leave out that parentheses, it will try to tell me something. You've entered too many arguments. Even though it's not very helpful, it is something better than nothing, right? In Excel Online, it just gives you a red border telling you made a mistake, but it doesn't tell you anything more than that. Right? Okay, cool. So let's close this example. Oh, no, we are not closing it. What am I saying? We have one more thing left. So we also want to.
Sir, one question, last question there.
Yeah.
Sir, why you can use that if error? 1 second.
Yeah, because see, if I do it on 37, then this is going to give me an error, right? How do I explain? See this. If I say equal to, find a space in this cell. Forget everything else. Just look at this part. Can you tell me what will be the result if I find a space in C17?
Says 0, I think.
How will it be 0? There is no space in the data, no? So it will be a error.
Okay.
Right. But I don't want to
okay.
see an error, no? So what will I say that if there is an error, don't show me anything, show me the same value. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. So let me close this and let me look at a new problem. I'll try to do something different. Oh, I'm sorry. I again forgot. There was one thing still left in this example. We want to cover that, which is, I'll show you. Let's just quickly come here. Now I have the CTC, but I would also like to create a group. That means 0 to 5 lakh, 5 to 10 lakh, 10 to 20 lakhs, and 20 plus. This is very standard. So when you handle the MIS for an organization, you typically want to see the CTC grouping, right? So you want to see how many employees are in which group. So how do I do this? How do I know that these numbers are coming in what group? So 5 is clearly between 0 and 5, right? 12 is between 10 and 20, like that. So what should I write?
Sir, would it be if else?
Yeah, we don't have if else in Excel. We only have an if, right? But we do have something called a, I'm sorry, did you say if else or did you say if else?
If else.
We don't have if else, right? So unlike programming, we do not have if else even in Power BI. We have if else in Tableau, right? So you have an if s, which is for multiple conditions. It's very simple. If E8 is less than 5, what should be the result? What is the group if the value is less than 5?
So it's false, right? False.
Not false. 0 to 5. There's a result, no? 0 to 5.
Yes.
It's a false group.
Okay, comma. Now I will again say, okay, if E8 is less than 10, then the result is 5 to 10, and you get the idea, right? So now we again say, if E8 is less than 20, then the result is 10 to 20. And then one final time, if E8 is greater than or equal to 20, then the result is 20 plus. So there you go. We have a CTC grouping, right? Like this.
Sir, can we give here like for the ifs, can we actually give multiple statements for the second if, like it's greater than equals to 5 and less than 10?
But why would you want to? Why do you want to make it more complex?
No, like for example, in this case, we have stated that it's 5 to 0 to 5 or 5 to 10. What if it was 0 to 5 and 6 to 10?
Then you make it like that, 0 to 5 and 6 to 10.
No, I mean, sir, if you could like,
then you say, if you wanted to have 6 to 10, then you could have written, if it is less than equal to 5, then it is 0 to 5. It is less than equal to 10, it is
5 to 10. No, sir. What I mean is like, if like in the ifs, can we include a and or that?
We usually don't. Is this what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Like if
we do that, put an and.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was like.
This is no different, right?
Yes.
Then using a normal if, the and or can be used here also. Any questions, anyone? All good? Okay, let's look at one more problem. So I'll do something different. Wait. Let us look at, hold on. Yeah, I think this is good. This is project schedule. Let's do this one. Let's do one finance example as well. We've done marketing and HR. So let's come to project schedule. So we have project schedule. Yeah. Can you tell me what we're trying to do here?
So we are actually trying to break the initial cost that we have.
Correct.
Between
so I'm not
the
really doing financial modeling for you. That's not really what the workshop is about. If you guys are interested in finance, I have this video that I very recently uploaded on YouTube. I'll just show you what it is. Now, how do I show it to you? Just give me a second. Okay, so this is on Excel and this is for corporate finance, right? It's a 1 hour video. And what I have explained here is, one moment. Okay. So it's a 1 hour video. And what I've explained here is, I mean, the focus was on WACC, right? So weighted average cost of capital. I don't know how many of you have studied finance, but weighted average cost of capital is the capital structure where you're looking at the debt versus equity, right? Obviously, both have their advantages and disadvantages, right? On debt, you are typically paying more, but it's, you know, easier for you, right? So that's the idea. So I've covered NPV, IRR, payback period, modified internal rate of return, right? Then we're looking at how to build a simple model, right? How to find the optimal WACC and the operational budgeting. So I'll not really explain it now, but you can see that I'm helping you create a complete model here from scratch. So the example I've taken is for a rental property where we are giving, so I'm owning rooms which I'm giving on rent to students, but students go on summer break for their internships. So for the period of June, July, and August, I'm giving it on rent to other people. So the rates are different. So the student rent is $1,000, but the weekend rent is $1,500 because I'm renting it out to other people. Plus there are some fixed costs, so utilities per month and upgrade cost, right? Like that. So there is an initial market value. So I, of course, need to create a cash flow. I'm assuming that I'll be selling the property after 60 years. So I will create my DCF. And I want to essentially see that if I'm looking at a 6% discount rate, is my DCF positive or not, right? So I'll not get into detail here. You can go and do this later if you're interested. It's not a very advanced sort of course, but it is good, right? This is also there on Teachable, so you'll be able to access it there. Anyway, but let's do a simple example now. So what we are saying is that there is a project start, which is 1st of January. The project duration is, okay, just give me a moment. Okay, this is actually wrong. This should be the project end. Just make that change, everybody. I'll also want to make this change later. So change project schedule. Okay. So the project start is 1st of January. The project duration is 6 months. I have an initial cost of 150, which I want to break equally into all the 6 months, right? Let's see how we do this. First, I want to know the project end. Can somebody tell me if My project starts on the 1st of January and I'm spending 6 months on it. How do I find the project end? What do we write? Equal to what? It seems like a very simple thing, right? That, okay, it's 6 months, what's the big deal? But how do you do that? How do you come to the 31st of the 30th of June, 2022? So there's a function for this called EO month, which is end of month. So if I say end of month, comma 0, what do you think will I get?
31st January.
31st January, correct? Swarit, the 180 will not work, right? Because you can't assume that it's exactly 180. It depends on which month is there. Are there 28 days, 29, 30, 31, right? This is correct. If I say comma 0, it will give me 31st Jan. But if I give it comma 6, it will give me 31st July, right? Like this, 6 months. But we want to do 6 minus 1, obviously, because we want to go to the 30th of June. I hope this makes sense, everybody. Because January is inclusive, right? Hence, we want to do a minus 1. So this is my first formula that we are writing. Okay, now I want to create a project schedule. So I want to create 6 months here. No, it's just by chance, no, whether a 180 will work for you or not. Think about it. How can you expect it to work every time? There's no guarantee, right? What if it was a leap year? What if it was 2020? They would have given you 29th of June, right?
Sir, I just had a small doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, what if there is to be a specific date on which we want the project to end? Say 27th of July.
Then you have written the 27th of July. See, either you have been given the duration and you have to calculate the end date, or you have already been given the start and the end date, right? If the end date was already given to you, then you would have put it. Then there is no need to calculate it, right?
Right.
Okay. Now I want to create a project schedule. So it's a little smart. Just think about what I'm doing. First, I will say equal to, okay? Equal to sequence. Now it is asking me how many rows do I want. Now I want 6 rows, obviously. So I will simply select 6 and it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then what is the number of columns? I need only 1 column. So I'll just put 1. Now what is the start value? The start value is 1st Jan 2022. But the problem is that if I put my starting value as 1st Jan 2022, it will be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. That's not what I want, right? So what I'll do is I will say equal to EO month, right? B7, and the number of months that I want here will be right? Just give me a moment. So rows is okay. End of month. Yeah, like this. Think about it, right? I know we have spent 2 hours and you must be tired and we've covered a lot of stuff, but just think about what I'm doing. I'll just break it down for you. What is B10? It is 6. That means I'm creating 6 rows, right? What is 1? Let me also write it down here. 6 rows. Okay. What is 1? 1 column. I hope the first 2 parts are simple. Now, what is this? This is the value that we are creating, right? So the first value should be the 31st of January. So how do I calculate the 31st of January? I will say EO month B7, comma 0. Then the second one will become EO month B7, comma 1, EO month B7, comma 2. So I'm saying create a sequence, because the sequence will be nothing but, if you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this, it's going to give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I say create a sequence of dates with the year month 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is going to create 6 rows for me, and every row will end on 31st of Jan, 28th of Feb, like this. I know it's a little tricky. You'll have to wrap your head around it. Please make sure to go back and practice, but it's actually not that difficult. And like once the first time you understand it, you will understand it forever. You will never forget it, right?
Sir, can you just repeat the part as to where 20th February comes into play? Getting a little confused on that part.
Okay, why don't I do it this way, everyone? I'm just writing equal to sequence, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm writing 6 minus 1, right? So what does it give me? It gives me, one moment. The minus 1 will actually come outside. So it will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, I hope you agree to this. Sequence of 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I do minus 1, it will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I say equal to year month, which is 1st Jan, comma 0, what will I get? 31st Jan. If I copy it down, I'll get 31st. Let me also put a $sign there. So if I copy it down, it will give me 28th Feb, right? Then if I copy it down, it will give me 31st March, because that's year month, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, and comma 5. Does this make sense?
Makes sense, sir.
All I'm doing is I'm combining everything into a single formula. That's what is making it more difficult. So I'm saying year month B7, but not for only one, for 6 months, right? So year month B7, comma 0, year month B7, comma 1, year month B7, comma 2, like this for 3 and 4 and 5, like that.
Got it.
That's the point of a model, right? You might say, but why are we doing it like this? Why don't we first build the numbers, then we do one calculation, then we do another? Models are not like this. Actual models are very complex, especially financial models, right? You have to be as efficient as possible. You can't make intermediary calculations and steps every time. It's going to make things so much more difficult for you. So you have to learn to create these longer formulas. See, the point of creating a long formula is not to impress you and show you, see, I can write such long formulas. It solves a purpose, right? Because everything is together, it's easier for you to make modifications on it. Intermediary calculations always are more difficult to work with, right? And this is more efficient, basically put. Like I said, no hurry. You guys have time till tomorrow night. You will have to take out 1 or 2 hours to go back and practice this, I know. But then I am covering advanced examples for you, right? Not the basic VLOOKUP and pivot table and all. I know you know that, right? Okay, also, how do you break the value? This is also very simple. I will say equal to, right? Divided by how much? How many months?
So 6.
Okay, divided by 6. But if I divide it by 6, it's only going to give me 25,000, right? But that's not what I want. So what do I do? Think.
Sir, actually, we also consider the number of days also, right?
I'm sorry?
Sir, we also consider the number of days. Like in the month of January, the 31st, 31 days.
We're not really concerned about that. Actually, this should not be 31st of Jan, to be honest. It should be the 1st of Jan. So if I could just make a small change here, we want to do, just give me a moment. So we are doing sequence of 1. Okay, that gives me the, one second, -2. And then we're doing +1. Just a little bit of change. See, do you see how Excel formulas are written? It's not mathematics, but it's just basic arithmetic, you know, learning how to work with parentheses, numbers, doing some hit and trial. Because ideally, for the project start, I should see the start of each month. I should not see the end of each month. That's why I'm doing it like this, right? First. So I'm just saying -2. So -2 will take me to the end of the previous month, right? So 31st of January 31st of December 2021. Then I'm doing a +1 to take me to the 1st of January 2022, like that. Anyway, let me just complete the last part. We will revise it tomorrow, don't worry. I know it's a slightly difficult problem. So we are doing sequence of 6 rows, right? Like this. Just give me a moment. I've also forgotten how I did it. Just hold on. I will quickly check, if you don't mind. Project schedule. I don't remember how I did it. So I had done, oh yeah, this is what I did. Correct. It stumped me the first time when I did it also. So we are doing equal to F7 hash multiplied by 0. That means everything will be 0. And to this, I can add this divided by 6. Like this. I know it's a little odd. I mean, when people look at it for the first time, they will say, what are you doing? But then you have to think about it, right? I somehow need to get that 25,000 coming 6 times. So I have to create a 0 value, because otherwise, how will it know that I have to create 6 cells, right? That's why I have to do a F7 hash here. Let me just show you how dynamic it is. See, if I made it 3 months, do you see what is happening? 50, 50, 50. How cool is that? If I made it 9 months, if it have given me 1st Jan till 1st September, 16,667 into 9. Go and ask people in the Big Four. If you have any friends or seniors in PwC and EY, 99% of them will tell you we do this manually by writing formulas. Very few people know that you can use sequence and array formulas for this. Right, so no hurry.
Sir, in this,
yeah,
sir, in this follow, why you use hash?
Yeah, we used a hash because this is only one formula, right? All these 3 cells, or in fact, all these 6 cells are coming using a single formula, isn't it?
Okay, okay.
Right? These are not discrete numbers. I have not typed all the 6 numbers. I have not copied the formula down. I have only written one formula, isn't it? So that is why these are connected to each other. That is why I can refer to them by F7 hash. Right? For example, if I say G16 hash, that doesn't work because every formula is separate, right? But if I say equal to this hash, it works because this is only one formula that is giving me 6 results. Right, so go
Sir,
back.
may I know how did you end up changing the dates to 1st Jan and 1st February? Because I applied the same formula, it's still showing me 31st January.
Why don't I do that for you? Hold on. So what I'm doing is I'm saying -2. Correct? So what will it give me? It will give me -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 31st Jan, 28th Feb. So from 31st December, how do I go to 1st of Jan?
You add +1 to it.
I had +1. Does it not make sense?
Right.
When I created a sequence, I said -2. So it gave me -1. What is year month? 1st Jan -1. Previous month, which is 31st of December. 31st of December +1 will be 1st of Jan.
Right. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Just purely logical, right? When you break down the steps and you say, okay, this is what we are doing. -2 of sequence will take me to -1. If I do -1 year month, it will take me to 31st December. If I do +1, it will take me to 1st January, right? Like this.
Understood.
The last question is that I apply the formula, but I get the date actually. That's a, can you?
In which one? In this one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just convert it into a number in the format.
Okay, okay.
Right? A date will come like this. So just convert it into a number. Okay, Swarit, you said 31st Jan isn't coming, it's starting from 28th Feb itself. Did you manage to solve the problem with the +1? I've also updated this formula a little bit. All good? All right. This is again such a common task, right? I mean, before array formulas were there, like pre-2020, we used to do this by using $signs and some manual work and all of that. Still formula based, but not as efficient as this, what I've done just now, right? This is cool. I mean, this is just so much better. With a single formula, I can create an entire sequence. And don't worry if you don't understand it 100% in the beginning. This is fairly advanced Excel, right? This is not basic Excel, what we're doing right now. So it is supposed to be difficult, right? It is not supposed to be something which you do it once and you say, okay, I've understood it perfectly. No, it is supposed to be a little difficult. Okay, so we did one example on CLV, customer lifetime value. We did something on incentive, which was if statements. After in the customer lifetime value, we had seen sort and hash dynamic arrays. Then in incentive, we saw if, and, or, min, year, frac, today. Then we have done the HR example where we saw flash fill. We saw ifs. We saw the left if error value as well. And in the finance example, we have done sequence, year, month, right? And basically created a dynamic model like this. The plan for tomorrow is that I will be covering Power Query, Power Pivot. We are not doing right now because that will be covered in Power BI. But I will be doing a few charts with you, some interesting types of charts with you, and a couple more things. VBA I will not be covering because, you know, in 2 hours I can not cover VBA. That's the honest. Not even 2 hours. In 15 minutes you can't expect me to cover VBA. And you already have the course with you, right? It's a fresh, updated course, beautiful course. I have re-recorded the entire content to which you guys have access. And I strongly suggest that if you're interested in VBA, watch it, right? VBA is my core area of expertise, right? As far as these other case studies are concerned, you can see that the answers are already there. So you can always go back and practice it. The solutions have been given to you. And this is very detailed. Like if you go through all these examples, a few more we'll try to cover tomorrow. We'll obviously not be able to cover every single one of them. Cool. Any questions, anyone?
Sir, also, sir, please share the today's recording video.
I will. So once the session is over, in another 20 minutes or so, I'll upload it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. Cool. So thank you, everybody. I hope you had a good session. We covered a lot of stuff and we'll continue tomorrow. Day after, we will start with Power BI. For Power BI, please don't work on a Mac. For the few people who do have a Mac, please arrange a Windows laptop somehow, because I don't want you to not be able to work, right? Only because you're working on a Mac. Tableau, we will not have a problem. Tableau works very well on Mac as well, but Power BI will not work on Mac.
So if we get the parallels, then also will it be a problem? That should work, right?
Parallels works, yeah. With an M1 as well, Parallels does not have any problem. But you'll have to install Windows as well, right? For that.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as you're able to figure that out, that should not give you any trouble.
Okay, sir.
Cool. All right then. So take care. The recording should be live in some time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.